Welcome to the Laughs in the Dark podcast. Spooky you.
Part 2. We can continue.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I need some more answers.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we're clearly not going to get them all. So,
No, just be advised. We're not going to get all the answers, but I need some.
right. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get into part 2. I got a lot of really insightful comments and questions from the last post I made. You guys saw things from perspectives I just didn't think of, and that got me thinking. There are things I really need to know. So, here's an update on what I was able to learn in the last few days. I feel more confused now than I did before. Maybe you'll all see more in it than I do. First, I tried talking to my dad, but he was not in the mood. Shut it right down. I pressed him a little on the flashing lights, and he told me I should ask my Uncle Matt. So I did. Uncle Matt and my dad get along great. Never seen them fight in my life. They're very different. Matt's easygoing, joking, always has a kind word for everyone. That's why I was shocked when he actually got mad. He told me to never ask him about it again and to leave him alone.
No. I kind of have a little bit of a right here to ask questions.
How do you think that?
I'm so sorry. I understand whatever you're going. Fine. I need to know something.
God, why do you want to know about your childhood trauma? What is wrong with you? Piss alone.
Don't ever ask me about your trauma again.
These people don't believe in therapy either, I bet.
I guarantee they don't. They definitely don't. Mr. fucking manly man over there does not.
He's still riding that high on the bar fights.
You're fucking infamous for your bar fights. You get creeped out, so you get pissed off and start stomping around. You're fucking busting down doors. Nah.
Or he's the dad in all the horror movies where they're clearly in a very haunted house. And he's like, you guys are imagining it. Oh my God.
You guys stop making stuff up. What is going on?
And then the dad is either always at the last second is like sees the demon. He's like, oh wow. Or he's like the guy that gets possessed because he's just so goddamn stubborn. Yeah, he's that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, well, that's this family brother, I should say. Because Uncle Matt is in on it as well. That would have been the end of it right there. But my bi-weekly phone call to my mom was due, and I didn't really have anything else to talk to her about. I told her what Dad told me, what I remembered, and what happened with Uncle Matt. What the hell were you thinking? He still feels it was his fault. The hushed way she said it, like someone might overhear, chilled me. I didn't even know what she was talking about.
Can somebody please tell me what's going
on? Just shut the fuck up. About that. Oh, not about that, okay? Just know there are pictures floating around of you as a child. Just that's all you need to know.
If somebody told me that, I'm gonna do a tuck on again.
And that they were shoved in the walls when you were 16 years old in a house 30 minutes away.
I would never speak to these people again. Mom, Dad, Uncle Matt, none of them. Yeah, every person who tells me to shut up and mind my business as I'm trying to mind my business, fuck you.
They would be the kind.
That's fine. Keep that energy.
Now, they would be the types to be like, we should be grateful we told you in the first place.
You did it. Nobody's told me anything so far. So
they gave him just one nugget enough. No, as if you remember in the last post, he started with, there's things I gotta tell you. I ain't telling you all that, okay? I didn't even know what she was talking about. There were some odd things in my family that I kind of knew, but no one really talked about. This is the version of it my mom gave me. My dad and Uncle Matt had a younger sister named Flora. It's always a Flora, okay? Now, every story it's the young sister named Flora that's always a problem. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a mystical child's name, but some shit always goes down with the younger sister Flora. Sorry, that's just a personal thing. My dad and Uncle Matt had a younger sister named Flora. I never knew her as Aunt Flora because she was gone before I was born. When Flora was 8 or 9, weird things started happening to her. My dad only talked about them when he'd been drinking gin, Mom said. Gin made him brood. She used to hide his gin because it'd freak her out when he talked about these things. Like, this one time, my dad woke up because he heard noises in the kitchen. He came out to see what was up. Flora was making a peanut butter and sugar sandwich in the middle of the night.
Hell.
He asked her what she was doing, because if their mom caught them in the kitchen at that hour, they'd have their butts reddened.
Flora, yeah, these some real country down. Told you. These some real homegrown.
Flora told him she had to make the sandwich and a picture for Mr. Chaudfroy. Mom said Dad would shudder when he said that part of the story. His voice got real low when he'd say the name, so my dad got mad at Flora because he thought she was being dumb or half-dreaming. Then she showed him the picture she drew. It was a drawing of a boy sleeping with Matt written above it. My dad, being the oldest child, was very protective of Matt and Flora. He immediately felt something was wrong here. He took the picture and tore it up, and he told Flora she had to get back to bed right away. She told him Mr. Chaudfroy would be mad because she promised him. Dad asked her who this person was and what he looked like because he meant to tell their mom. She said she didn't know what he looked like, but he talked to her from the drain in the bathroom sink. He told her all sorts of things, and she'd been talking to him every night for a month.
Never been talking to him in the drain in the bathroom sink. That sounds like those people. I don't know if you've seen Jailbirds on Netflix, but they communicate via the toilet, floor to floor. So like there's women's floors on the higher up floors, and then the lower floors are men, and so that's how they communicate. And sometimes they'll drop a line, so they're like tied together. I can't remember what it was, something in like spoons, and drop it down with like whatever their note or package is. Should. Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Hello?
Who's this?
What are you doing?
That's what that sounds like. Could be.
Could be.
Hell, I'm not talking to anybody through plumbing.
So, I don't know what age she is here. I know she's young.
I think they said 8 or 9.
Yeah, but I thought that something happened to her at 8 or 9 because he's not her. So I don't know if maybe this is a little bit before that or not. But either way, if my young daughter, either she's very stealthy and so this is fine, but if I ever catch her ass, chalk into a drain.
I'm going to have some questions and we're going to have some talks.
We are going to have some talks. I'm going to overhear some of those talks.
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh, go. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Talk to your friend.
Right. Mr. Chaudfroy said I can't talk to you. Okay, well, Mr. Chaudfroy can get the fuck out of my house.
He can get fucked. That's where he pays some bills and start making rules. When Mr. Chaudfroy don't make rules over here.
At this point, my mom said she didn't want to talk about it anymore. It was giving her the willies. She didn't even like saying the name. Mom was always kind of superstitious about things. Like, she would be afraid to say the names of certain diseases. Like, she'd never say cancer, as if saying it causes it. She said just saying the name Chaudfroy made her feel like she was being watched. But I asked her more questions and she kept going. She said my dad didn't believe Flora. She must have been dreaming or just imagined the whole thing. He's frustrating me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You told this to your little sister Flora.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's in your head. Shut up. But something happened to her, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And your son starts to have things. It's eerily similar. Son, go to sleep. It's in your head.
Yeah, it worked so well the last time. Why not try it again?
I just am in disbelief.
Yeah.
Wow. He took the sandwich and ate it himself after sending Flora back to bed. So his mom wouldn't find it. Wait, what? He ate this peanut butter and sugar sandwich.
Not the air sandwich. Almost colostrum for this. Oh my god, really? After she sat there and made that sandwich. What if she was gonna eat half of it? What if she was hungry too? That's so fucked up.
This is him being protective. He's like, oh, I'll cover up the evidence. Just go to bed.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'll cover up the evidence of your crime for you. Don't you worry. Yeah, just give me all of that money that you have, and I'll clean it up for you, make sure it's fine. Then I'll give it all right back to you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my.
Wow. That is not your egg sandwich. That's so fucked up.
I can't believe I almost glossed over.
Anyway, sent her to bed with half the sandwich or no. Like,
no, I'm gonna cover this up for you.
Selfish.
This is for you.
After you ripped up her picture.
Just really the worst kind of protection, brother.
The bully protected brother.
Yeah, it's like the abuser. It's like, I'm doing this for your own good.
Mm-hmm.
And the type of guy to later on just really hold on to the high of being a legend in bar fights is also adding up.
It's all adding up. We know this guy. You got your ticket guy.
Right. Busting down doors where he has no business being.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She must have been dreaming or just imagined the whole thing. He took the sandwich and ate it himself after sending Flora back to bed so his mom wouldn't find it. He remembered the sandwich well because peanut butter and sugar was not something they ever made in the household.
That's not something anybody's ever made ever.
Yeah, no shit. Like, the mental note here is crazy.
That's creepy.
Not something we didn't make. It's not a food.
Okay, peanut butter and sugar. That's a true struggle meal. That's a poverty meal.
You need calories, and the macros do not matter.
The macros do not matter. We just need some type of something.
We need the energy.
Wow.
He had no idea where she'd heard of it. He forgot all about what happened for a few days or weeks, until one night he woke up to pee and could hear funny noises as he got near the bathroom. The light wasn't on, but Flora was in there alone. He stopped outside the door to listen, but she was whispering a whole conversation in there. He figured she was half asleep and didn't know what she was doing. He went into the bathroom to get her. Then he heard it himself. There really was a voice coming from the train. Mom said he would get a distant look when he talked about this and just set the gin down, like he couldn't drink anymore. And my dad can always drink more.
He said, "This is how I know. This is my point. Is where I know I'm too far gone."
Right.
Let me put it that way.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay. You know it's got to be bad.
Like, I just gotta.
Right.
The voice he heard sounded cold and metallic, probably from coming through the pipes, he figured, but it scared the crap out of him. What it was actually saying was even worse. Mom said he tried to imitate the metallic voice, saying, "Come outside, Flora. Come on, outside. No one has to sleep out here." Flora whispered into the sink that she couldn't because her brother might catch her. And the strange voice told her, "He never should have ate my sandwich."
That's about that sandwich. See, this is why you don't eat other people's sandwiches.
Is that the lesson?
That is the lesson.
It's her takeaway.
That is the takeaway. I think leave other people's stuff alone. Don't eat other people's food.
I think the takeaway was to believe your sister. Never leave kids when they tell you shit is going on.
That too.
That's his takeaway. That should be his takeaway.
That's his takeaway. But you should also take away not to eat other people's food because now you made an enemy where you didn't need to, number one. And number two, it's not nice to take other people's food. It's like those people who steal food out of like the communal fridge at work. And it's like, that clearly was not yours.
It had their name on it.
It's got my name on it. It's labeled. It's in a specific fucking lunchbox. And still, you went and stuck your grubby hands in and knowing good and well you didn't buy a motherfuck thing in that package.
Yeah, you got it.
Guy. They will be jaded from corporate life.
No, not you. Luckily, I'd never had that experience. Because no. There was some respect.
I feel like it was
A little bit.
I'm gonna shut up.
Go ahead.
I feel like you would be the French thief.
I thought it was communal.
Okay, Jerry, once again, everyone's Doritos have mysteriously disappeared from the break room. Now, I realize this is a workplace, and I don't want to sound like I'm accusing you.
How dare you?
So yeah, yeah, sure, I have a scavenging nature, but I try to be considerate.
Yeah.
Or like, I'll look at it for like, if it's in there for 3 days, I'm like, okay, seems safe. And then
It quite seems queer.
yeah, and then if it ever did, like 2 weeks later, was it making this? I'm like, no, I think such and such cleared out the fridge the other day, Bones.
It probably got tossed.
Yeah, I know. I would ask them. Hearing it made my dad's hair stand on end. My mom said it's the most scared he'd ever been. Not one to freeze, my dad pulled Flora out of the bathroom and slammed the door. He warned her never to talk to Mr. Chaudhry again, because he was bad. He ended up telling his mom, and they found where some pipes had been messed with under the house. They also found some drawings of my dad and Uncle Matt sleeping. They were all burned right away, and his mom forbade them to talk about it. This is not how you handle a problem.
Not how you handle these things. Talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. Talk to your motherfucking kids, please. God damn.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway. That's my takeaway from this whole thing. From the whole 7-part series, even though we only on part 2, the whole takeaway is talk to your motherfucking kids.
Right. I'm still like...
And be honest. At least talk to them just to talk. Be honest.
As this becomes more and more similar to OP's experience, and his dad is essentially, he went through the exact same thing, minus the flashes, okay? I'm understanding his skepticism less and less.
Yeah.
How you could be skeptical is crazy.
About anything.
But we will see, perhaps reasons. And also, unless it's been dealt with, which I doubt, you should be telling OP everything. Because clearly this guy is following your bloodline.
Literally. His kids won't have to deal with this.
Right, you may want to let him know, hey, by the way, watch it if you're having kids.
Right.
They were all burned right away, and his mom forbade them to talk about it. They didn't handle scandals like that too well at the time. But my dad saw some of the drawings before they were burned, and they weren't drawn by Flora. I had never heard anything about any of this before. Dad and Uncle Matt almost never talked about Flora anyway, and when they did, it was always cryptic. I didn't know what this had to do with me, but my hand was shaking holding the phone. You can't glean any possibility of what it could have to do with you.
No. I don't know what this could possibly have to do with me. I'm gonna shut up.
I have to say something I think maybe we're gonna say.
Not sure.
Maybe not. I am feeling that I'm remembering situations where people have tried to say something to me to like get me to understand something or what they were doing or something, and I do distinctly recall saying, okay, what the fuck does that have to do with me?
You're that type.
But it has very much to
But I think that you would pick up on the similarity.
this one very much so.
Especially
I could be
the
dense.
target of this thing.
I could be dense. I'm not that dense.
Right.
Yeah. I thought she was done, but she said that was just the beginning. My mom usually gets tired of talking after 10 minutes or so. I was surprised. Maybe she...
Pause. You know I'm usually on the fuck all man journey.
You are, yes.
But what is going on with this deadbeat mama? You get a bi-weekly 10-minute phone call from your mom? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is she doing? Where is she at?
They're divorced.
That's fine. What is she doing and where is she at? That you can only have a bi-weekly 10-minute phone call. It's the body. That's 5 minutes a week. You get to spend with your mama.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets tired. I like how she gets tired. Not she doesn't have time.
She don't have time. You know,
Busy at work.
tired. She don't want to fucking like, oh my God.
It has been 10 minutes. Okay, I'm done with this. This is like part of the custody agreement, so I don't have to pay child support. Okay, I don't want. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm not.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. See, I'm glad there was finally a woman deadbeat.
Oh my God.
My mom usually gets tired of talking after 10 minutes or so. I was surprised. Maybe she needed to get it out of her system. She said that after that, Flora used to complain about flashing lights in her bedroom. This dad is pissing me off. Ah! Are you fucking serious right now?
Flashing lights in the bedroom. But we don't know what that's about. It's probably lightning or cars driving by or something. Stop making shit up.
It's definitely not lightning. Remember, it's definitely... What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not lightning, my bad. That was a stupid idea for you to have, stupid child.
I'm in disbelief.
Yeah.
Listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's a rural education for you.
That's not even education. That is deduction.
You don't have it.
The ability to connect ideas.
She'll have it.
Okay.
There were children left behind.
She said that after that, Flora used to complain about flashing lights in her bedroom. Everyone just figured she was seeing the light from the lighthouse because it was still active back then. She complained about it for nearly 2 years, saying she had trouble sleeping. Her mom got sick of it and put thicker curtains in her bedroom, and she kept complaining. They ended up getting her a sleeping mask. Problem solved. Not long after this,
The problem was not solved.
it was not solved.
The problem was not solved.
Very much not solved.
Nothing about the problem was solved.
Well, maybe if you can't see.
And it won't bother you as much as this man takes pictures of you for 2 years every night in your bed.
Yeah. And also, if it is in your imagination isn't going to give a shit about a blindfold.
It's not.
Because if it doesn't give a shit about curtains,
It don't give a shit about your blindfold.
so really that should have helped them deduce that it's not
It's not an imagination.
rural education. Okay, we're moving on. That seemed to solve it. I don't know. Well, not long after this, Dad, Matt, and Flora went to a friend's house to hang out because he had a record player, and his parents would get him any records he wanted.
I like how fancy pants Rich McGee.
Ooh, fancy pants, Rich McGee over here. Fuck you.
Period. We love a friend with money.
They'd all just listen to music together. She left to go home before Dad and Matt did, but she never made it home. They
Why
never.
are you letting her leave by herself?
Why do they do a lot of things? They'd all just listen to music together. She left to go home before Dad and Matt did, but she never made it home. They never found her body. In theory, she could still be alive, but nobody really believes that. Mom thinks Dad and Uncle Matt always felt personally responsible for it.
Yeah, because they were. Because y'all both failed as big brothers. Both of y'all did.
Who lets an 8 and 9-year-old walk home alone?
Right.
I say that, but I'm being a hypocrite. Because remember, that's my whole thing about grade school and how I needed to walk home.
Mm-hmm.
But I was almost nabbed several times, so I guess it still stands.
It
Yeah.
still stands.
I needed to walk home.
You needed to walk on, but you shouldn't have.
But I shouldn't have been walking home.
You shouldn't, but I'd have been walking home.
Both are true. Yes. Yes, she had people that were supposed to be with her. Okay. We can reconcile that.
At least one of y'all fucking, if she can walk home by herself, like, and it's not alarming to you at all, walk with her and come back. Like, clearly it don't seem far. Like,
I wonder if it's like, though, like this close-knit community neighborhoods where it's like, oh, yeah, we never lock our doors. Yeah.
yeah. And then when there's a slaughter, everybody's shocked.
That's how our neighborhood was, though.
It's because you never lock your doors.
Well, nobody was slaughtered.
As far as you know. You know, that's how the Night Stalker found his victims, to just walk around trying doors.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. Mom thinks Dad and Uncle have always felt personally responsible for it because if they just slept with her, she might still be alive.
mm-hmm.
My mom figures that's why the flashing lights thing upset Dad and Uncle Matt so much. And I guess I was opening old wounds by asking about it. Fucking cry me a river. Thank you. I was a victim of something you knew about.
Hey, you said nothing.
You said it would be in my head.
Go gaslight me.
Gaslit the shit out of me acting like a victim. Bitch, bye.
That is crazy. No.
Oh, I'd be at Uncle Matt's door, swearing up. I'm about to take over.
When you brought it
No,
again.
I'm about to take up the mantle on the bar fights.
Yeah.
We're having house fights.
Immediately. I'm knocking all
That's gonna be my legend.
Yeah. God.
They will talk for years to come about how many bones and windows I broke. I guess I was opening old wounds by asking about it. At the same time, I find it really spooky that the same thing would happen to both me and Flora.
Me too. I also find that.
Spooky is not the word.
I find that spooky. I find that suspicious. I find that
A little bit eerie, creepy,
unsettling,
right.
disturbing.
Spooky is too lighthearted.
It's too lighthearted.
Yeah. That's like saying, I kind of find it really weird. It ain't weird, it's alarming, freaky, and upsetting that it wasn't taken more seriously when it happened to me. That's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
No, you had to be on your side.
We are totally on your side, okay? Because everybody here knows what's going on and nobody's talking about it and just allowing you to be victimized.
And then acting like
you're the problem for complaining about being victimized.
Especially when they brought it up. You could have been blissfully unaware. They could have left you that way.
Yeah.
But he opened it up and said, yeah, I didn't tell you this. There was a guy taking pictures of you and they were stuffed in his walls. Anyway, don't talk about it again.
I'm just supposed to accept these fucking breadcrumbs my whole life?
Just don't say anything. But you could have said nothing.
All
or nothing with this.
God.
Be grateful for what you got.
Right.
I'm just saying that it has to be him. I also felt really bad about hurting Uncle Matt. I visited him the next day to apologize. I told him my mom explained everything and I really had no idea. He wasn't mad anymore. Actually, he apologized to me too, because he said I deserved to know.
Thank you. Are you going to tell me?
The fact that he was just so open to apologize. Curbing gaslit tells me that all I need to know about his upbringing. Gaslight
Since the day he was born.
Wow. What Uncle Matt said. He said there was a little bit more to it than what my mom described. A week before she disappeared, Flora had started complaining about the flashing lights again. They figured either she was forgetting to put on her mask, or it had been in her head the whole time. Then, a day or two before she disappeared, he couldn't remember, she woke up and the mask was gone. She couldn't find it anywhere. They figured she just didn't want to wear it anymore. But now he wasn't so sure. Another weird thing, around the same time, was that they found footprints in the snow outside the house.
Oh.
That's weird!
Oh.
This family is
Don't let her walk home by herself 2 days from now.
This family is a full believer in coincidence.
Oh my God. This family is so gullible.
This family it worships a coincidence. Lord, praise be another coincidence.
Oh my God.
Nothing in life is linked together.
Nothing. Everything is just coincidence. Nothing is connected. It's all just random and thrown together.
True nihilists, if you will.
True.
Another weird thing around the same time was they found footprints in the snow outside the house. It snowed almost 3 feet overnight. These footprints led out of the woods behind the house and went straight to Flora's window. The thing Uncle Matt said creeped him out the most was that the footprints at the window didn't face into the window. They faced back towards the woods where there was nothing but trees. For the footprints to have not been covered in snow, someone had to have walked to Flora's bedroom window sometime after midnight, and stood there staring into the woods in a blizzard. Strangely, he said they never really worried about it much.
Of course. Obviously. They don't worry about anything much.
Nothing. Everyone knew everyone there. It just stands out in hindsight. If everybody knows everybody, I'm calling a town meeting to see who the
fuck is up around at night? Who is taking pictures of my child at night?
You know what? I wonder if it's like in The Village. You ever watch the movie The Village?
No.
3 hours later.
My point being that they need to go around town and find the ones with impulse control issues that could potentially, okay, everybody knows everybody, then they're gonna be able to pinpoint the guy. That one's kind of weird. It just stands out in hindsight. The day she
That would stand out to me for the rest of my life. I would never
sleep in that room again.
I would never sleep again. Like, you're telling me 2 days before your sister goes missing and is never seen again, there were backwards footprints from the woods to her window in the snow, the 3 feet of snow, that implied somebody had stood there in the 3 feet of snow being snowed on at the window, presumably backwards, if we're possibly talking about a human. That would stick out to me for the rest of my life. That would never be, there wouldn't be a day that went by that I didn't think about that.
Well, I think that's true now, but I'm imagining him putting his little finger on chin. In hindsight, that was kind of weird. The day she disappeared, they got a call from Timmy Jean, the boy with the records, telling them he just got a new one. Uncle Matt said Timmy was an only child. He thought the records were how Timmy's parents got him off their hands and made some new friends. So, he was normally really excited when he got a new record to share. This day, he sounded flat, emotionless. Matt had to ask if he was even speaking to Timmy. And the whole time, Uncle Matt felt like someone was listening in. He could hear a sound in the background that wasn't quite breathing. It was like someone saying, "Yeah," really softly. Around this time, where my dad and Uncle Matt grew up, the phone lines were all what they called party lines. Each home's phone would have a different ring, so they knew who should answer. But anyone could answer or listen in on anyone else's phone call. So having someone else on the line wasn't unheard of, just impolite. They went to Timmy's, but when they arrived, Timmy said he didn't call them, and he didn't even have any new album. Uncle Matt and Dad decided to hang out with Timmy and listen to some old albums anyway. But Flora was really disappointed and wanted to go home, so she left alone. He remembered thinking it was too bad she left because they found her sleep mask in Timmy's room. What goes through your head? Like, take away the rest. Take away all of the rest. Your sister's sleep mask has been found in Timmy's room. Your thought is, oh, here it is. With nothing else, you would not think anything of that.
No. You just kind of didn't worry about it.
Wow, not even a Timmy, how did you get this? Nothing.
Nope.
Found it. Oh, she left. Okay.
And then you're disappointed that she left after you found it, like you weren't going to take it home to her.
Dang, too bad she's not here to take it home. That was the last time they ever saw her, Uncle Matt said. He was trying hard not to tear up. He said he remembered it was like it was yesterday. Her little brown shoes, bows in her hair, and he said the oversized Ramones t-shirt they'd found during a trip in the city. It was her favorite band. I felt an awful pit in my stomach when he said that. I don't think I'd ever mentioned the detail about the Ramones t-shirt before. Not that Uncle Matt would pull my leg on something like this. I guess it could be a coincidence. A lot of people like the Ramones. Boy, you better not fall into your family's pattern.
He's fallen into the pattern of not recognizing patterns.
Somebody could break the cycle.
Maybe this is a gene mutation that they physically cannot recognize patterns and odd occurrences, anything. This is generational stupid.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Some things are taught, but this is not. Not that Uncle Matt would pull my leg on something like this. I guess it could be a coincidence. A lot of people like the Ramones, but I've never felt so unsettled in all my life. I told him about the guy in the Ramones shirt. He told me to just drop it because it was a long time ago.
You know what? Okay.
That was all he had to say. There's a lot of what Uncle Matt said that I find strange. Like how unconcerned he seemed that Timmy hadn't made the phone call. Or the sleep mask. I'm visiting my dad for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm going to bring 2 bottles of decupure gin. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll let you know if I find out anything more. Or if I don't. That is the end of part 2. I just am speechless.
I am
Be nice. I'm finding it.
you got a negative 2 for intelligence. Like that, the 0 for wisdom.
They rolled poorly. But where all the stats? No. Strength. They put it all in strength. They put every bit of it was in strength.
Every bit of it is straight. And said, who needs anything else?
Maybe Constitution. They may have done Constitution for all the bar fights.
This reminds me, Welcome to Plaqueville on TLC, when the mom says,
what does she need college for? She's learning more by doing right now than she ever would sitting behind a desk in a college, learning head knowledge.
that's what it gives, right?
I understand trauma, right? I get trauma. One, I don't know why the fuck the dad would bring it up. So he's gonna be this so hard-headed about it.
Right.
And I think what it is, like, the mom clearly made the connection. It was like, please drop it. Like, I don't even know if the dad... Well, they must have.
I'm not listening to shit from the mom. I'm not listening to... Because where the fuck are you and what the fuck are you doing?
Well, yeah. But she did have a little insight, you know, because she watched the dad be drunk.
Yeah. Great.
That's all we needed from her. That is all we need from her.
Or maybe because she's witnessed the shit from the dad and was so unsettled and creeped out and weirded out by it that maybe we would have the thought, oh, my child, please come live with me so that you don't also have to experience this same trauma your father went through. Let me as a mother step in to protect my child. But to be fair, that's asking for way too much because all we get is 2 10-minute phone calls a month. We got to make do with our 20 minutes a month, I guess.
But, well, I was wondering this when he said bi-weekly. Because I take that to be paycheck bi-weekly every other week. But some people use that shit in terms of bi-weekly, like 2 times in a week. We might talk to her more often. It's still not great. It's 20 minutes a week, but...
Yeah, what's that? An hour and 20 minutes a month? Okay.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's a possibility better than 20 minutes. I see why she left. I do. I see why she left. I can honor that. I don't see why she left her 5-year-old.
I don't see that. No.
Maybe she saw, like how he right now is saying, oh, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe she saw that gene coming in him and was like, I can't deal with Papa Junior here. But the coincidence is these people are just absolutely insane. His father is horrible, and this son is just, he's a hero and folk legend. He broke so many arms in the bar. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And why are we still talking about it? Why are we not talking about the shit that's going on? The trauma and the PTSD this man has that leads him to be a legendary bar fighter. Can we talk about that? Let's get to the root of the thing.
Wow. So,
That was some crazy shit.
so yeah, we'll definitely be reading the rest of that.
Absolutely.
All right, so that was part 1 and 2 of that story. Feel free to comment whether you would eat a peanut butter and sugar sandwich, have eaten a peanut butter and sugar sandwich, or would steal your little sister's sandwich and act as though you are a hero.
Tell us if you've ever done any of those.
Or think it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Any opinions on that are very valued. Oh, yeah. So you can listen to this episode on podcasts everywhere. Like, subscribe, and then we will catch you on the next one. Bye.